What is the single most important thing in PMP? Solving damn 180 question and getting pass. That is the bottom line here. Let's make the main thing the main thing, right? Now, we are gonna solve question now. Okay? We are gonna solve very difficult questions. You are gonna solve questions. But before solving the question answers, please everybody turn your videos on. Group, put it, Radha Krishna, put in your group that coaching call has started. Okay. Uh, People can join. Now, what before I go to the question answer sessions, what we will be doing, we will be going through the flashcards one time. I want to make sure we understand all the terminology. I want to make sure that we are on the right format. I will start with the agile flashcard, and as we move forward, I will move in a 1 second. Okay. For those people who are saying it is too fast, it will be too fast. But if that terminology you are not clear, stop me there. My goal is that in next 30 to 45 minutes, cover the entire flashcards, which topic we are covered. Are you with me? Please turn your videos on because this is going to be a very quick section. Okay, please. And Radhakrishna put in your group message the class has started. Aisha, you put in your group that the class has started. Whichever the group you are guys before, please put into that. Okay, and here we go. What is adaptive? What is adaptive? Immediately you need to put in the chat box. What is adaptive? Adaptive, we know that change driven is called adaptive, right? No. Change driven, like iterative incremental, is called adaptive. Okay. Affinity diagram, when we classify the things into categories, small size t-shirt, large size t-shirt, medium size t-shirt, that is affinity diagram. Everyone agrees with me? Okay. Affinity diagram. Affinity estimation, we use affinity estimation for that. Agile, when anything can change. We remember 2 by 2 column what we discussed. It was agile. Anything can change into it. Agile coach, servant leadership, different names, scrum master, all for agile coach. Estimation techniques, we discussed 3 estimation techniques. What were the 3 estimation techniques? Put in the chat box immediately. Not bottom up estimation. No, agile estimation, Radha Krishna. Agile estimation. Ideal laws, Fibonacci series, and affinity estimation. Okay. Life cycle, the entire agile life cycle. Manifesto, 4 values of agile. Servant leader, agile practitioner. We discussed 12 principles of agile. All these are 12 principles of agile. Release planning, like how you plan into that way. Artifact, there are 3 main artifacts in agile. What are 3 main artifacts in agile? Put in the chat box. Product back. Okay. There's one student in the class. Okay, now two. Can you see Abdullah is typing? Guys, can you raise your hand like this? Can you show me? I want to see. Okay. Everybody has hands. I thought only Abdullah or 1 or 2 students have hands. But I was not able to see it. Maybe I think my mistake. Right? Please type. You can type short form. Product backlog, you can type PB. Sprint backlog, you can type SB. Product increment PI. There's a reason I want you to do a flashcard. Then immediately revise. Immediately revise. You remember it. You can see, sir, आप हमें रट्टा लगवा रहे हैं? हाँ, लगवा रहा हूँ. I don't care. Till you, I want you to PMP. Tabish, no question. Put in the chat box. There is nothing question answers happening. Okay, you need to put into that. I like this section. I don't have to answer any question. Okay. You can, Aisha, make it small instead of, okay. G. Avoid, we discussed one technique, avoid in conflict management. That's a bad thing. We don't do it. In risk, we discussed avoid. Both are avoid there. In risk, we discussed when you kill the risk, the most strong technique. Okay. Most strong technique. Backlog, product backlog, sprint backlog, we discussed it, right? Backlog refinement. What is backlog refinement? Grooming of the product backlog. The time of 1 hour. Grooming of the product backlog. That is backlog refinement. Counting down. Clear to everybody? All with me? Guys, please, more interactive session. And please turn your videos on. If anyone has any question, by the way, I was just reading Tabish. If anyone is not clear about the term, raise your hand. Okay? Grooming, reprioritization of black backlog. Tabish. Okay? Burn up chart, burn down chart, we discuss them. Okay, how much work remaining, how much work is done. Burn up is how much work is done. Burn down is how much work is remaining. Please, if anyone is not, do ask me. Okay, please do ask me. Burn down, remaining. Burn up, done. Okay. By the way, let me ask you this thing. In which chart we can show scope added or remove? In which chart we can show burn up? Thank you. Because burn up is going up, suddenly it goes further up. Burn up can show that. If anyone is not clear, draw it by your hand. I ask you to draw it and try adding the scope. You will see it clearly. Okay. Burn up. Cross-functional team, the T-type leader. Okay. Cycle time, time the user story was requested to the time it was completed. Don't put in the chat box. If you have any question, you can immediately ask the question because I will be moving quickly now. Daily stand up 15 minutes, same time, same location, 3 questions. What you did yesterday, what you are going to do today, any roadblock, impediment, things of those nature. Definition of done, when it is completed from my side, checklist, make sure that it is completed from my side. Okay. Deliverable, once you do something to the client, that is a deliverable. Definition of ready, I check, am I even, can I even do that thing or not? Definition of ready. Delphi technique. Somebody asked me yesterday, Delphi technique. Delphi technique is you go anonymously and ask everyone about it. Okay, anonymously getting the consensus. For example, there is something Hamad feel I may not like. So anonymously getting the consensus from the entire team, that is Delphi technique. It is also known as wideband Delphi. Delphi or wideband Delphi. Anonymous. I shall not voting, anonymously getting voting. Clear? Everyone? Are you with me? Okay. Acha ji. Demo, you show it to the client. Empowerment, you empower the team. Epic. When a user story is big, write it down in the chat for you. When a user story is a big and you cannot complete in one sprint, we call it epic. Collection of tasks is a other way to say it. But the right term is Abdullah. When a user story is big that you cannot complete in one sprint, it is called epic. What we do, we slice it down, we decompose it into smaller. Okay? Epic. Task,
Sir,
you have to complete. Yes?
definition of ready and proof of concept is same, right?
Definition of ready and?
Proof of concept.
No, no, no. Proof of concept is for the entire project. For the entire project. Definition of ready is for one user story. For one user story. Okay?
Okay.
Task board, information radiator showing the status. Test driven development, like first you write down the test, then you start working. Like I have a acceptance criteria in my hand. I have a definition of done in my hand, then I start work. Definition. Clear? Yasin, making sense now? Okay. Yes. Time box. You put the time in a box. Fix it. T-shaped when you have cross-functional team member. User story requirement. Wideband Delphi, we discussed it. Metaphor, yeah. In XP is known as extreme programming, just like Scrum. It is basically extreme programming. Metaphor, nickname. I'm an ambitious. Metaphor. If I say little master, who comes to your brain? Let's put in the chat box. Out of nowhere, I'm saying Little Master. Who's that person? Everyone is typing Sachin Tendulkar. How? Swing of Sultan. Everybody knows that's metaphor, nickname, right? Nickname we use. Okay. Yeah, yeah, we can have a confusion here. And if Muhammad, like, there's always there, but we know that. What does metaphor mean? Okay. Okay. Extreme programming is a way of like two people sit together, pair programming, the test driven development. Increment parts. Increment delivery parts delivery. Like these three should be removed and you should get only one of the flashcard. I will remove it. Invest, like user stories sometimes follow the acronym of invest. Independent, like one user story should not depend on other. Negotiable, you can negotiate. Valuable, it should provide value. Estimatable, you should be estimatable. Small, small, timeable. Of course, Amit, I am moving it quickly, so there would be a delay. Of course, it will be a delay, Amit. Okay. Independent, valuable, estimatable, small, testable. Okay. Iteration, like 1 to 4 weeks. Iteration backlog, also known as sprint backlog. Like cycle. Kanban board. Kanban board, we discuss it. It has a work in progress limit. Okay. Uh, yes, Amit sir, I understand what you said. When I'm moving screen from one screen, it gets delayed. Okay. You have the flashcards with you also. Okay. So Kanban board, what is Kanban board? Work in progress limit. All our information radiator. MVP, we deliver MVP. Moscow analysis, must have, should have, could have, would likely to have. Product, what we delivered. Product analysis, product backlog, we know that. Scope of the work. Refactoring. What was refactoring, guys? You know, I'm an old guy, I forget things. What was refactoring? Put in the chat box. What is the refactoring? Housekeeping. Whenever you see the word refactoring, it's housekeeping. Like first you make the presentation, then like now the flashcards are completed, I will remove some of them. Overall goal will same, but removing the waste. Okay. Refactoring. Retrospective lesson learned meeting. Rolling wave planning, when you plan high level, then you move forward in detail. High level plan and then you move in detail. Scrum, the entire method we do. Scrum master, project manager, Scrum of Scrum, like program level. When you have multiple Scrums, program level, Scrum is called Scrum of Scrum. Scrum team, the development team. Again, team. Sprint backlog, we know that. Sprint planning, where we plan for sprint. Retrospective, lesson learned meeting. Review, where we show the demo. Velocity, how much work you can do in a sprint. Sprint story points, effort required to complete a sprint. Lead time, the time teams started working into it and the time it got completed. Velocity, we discuss it, why it is coming again. Work in progress, how much we can do it. Market research, you do the market research. Prototype, your demo, your minimum viable product. Planning poker, where we get analysis, we get like how much it will take. We go round and round, round and round, round and round to get the analysis. So far, so clear? Okay. Key terms of agile we have covered so far. Transparency, we should be transparent. That's it. Yeah, that was agile. How much time it took? Like 10 to 15 minutes for the first time. If I do it second time, it will take less time. That's the power of flashcards. You remember those terms. Now, why I want you to remember those terms? The reason is that when you are solving question, if you keep thinking, Acha, what does their term mean? That will be a waste of time. Got my point? Two things your brain should not have to think. What is step one? What is step two? What is step three? Second, what does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? In Agile, there was a question of Scrum is SOS, program, LSS, large scale Scrum, or scaled Agile. You should have asked the question when you were solving question, Abdullah. It is portfolio level Scrum. It's a bigger, even bigger than SOS. Flashcard was good enough. Shall we do the next topic? Put in the chat box, yes, no, I don't care, whatever you want. You can put anything. I'm okay with that. Okay. Let's do the next topic as stakeholder. It is a small topic. Okay. जी stakeholder engage stakeholder engagement roadmap. How do I engage the people? Right? Identify stakeholder, where we identify the stakeholder, use different techniques to identify them. We manage the stakeholder, right? It's the execution thing where I see current engagement and desired engagement. We monitor it. A new stakeholder come, we raise a change request. We plan the stakeholder engagement. We put the stakeholder engagement strategies and the stakeholder engagement matrix. Salience model, power, urgency, legitimacy. Who's a stakeholder? Anyone is a stakeholder. Stakeholder analysis, where we categorize and then prioritize. Cube, power, interest, and third X. Stakeholder engagement matrix. You see the current engagement and desired engagement. Stakeholder engagement plan. It has two things: strategies required to engage the stakeholder and current and desired stakeholder engagement matrix. Register, which has everything about the stakeholder. Who is the stakeholder? What is power? What is interest? Interest impact grid. You interview the stakeholder. Very important thing. What is the benefit of interview technique? There's a big benefit of interview technique. What is that? The very interesting benefit of interview technique. What is that? Anyone can tell me? To get the real requirement. Okay. What else? Capability of stakeholder. What else?
You assess the stakeholder by talking, no?
You can get a confidential information, which people will not give in a focus group or a workshop. They will give it as a one-to-one. Make sense to everyone? Okay. Yeah. Power interest grid. That's it. Stakeholder. Anyone has any confusion in stakeholder topic, please ask. Okay. Communication. What is co-location? Putting the people at one direction, one location. Now, the benefit is that we can overhear it, which is osmotic communication. Okay. Communication channel n into n minus 1 by 2. We calculate how many people can communicate. Method push, pull, interactive. We discussed it. Model sender, send the information, receiver, receive the information. That's a communication model. We analyze the requirement of the stakeholders. Okay. Technology, which technology you are, culture awareness, understanding the culture. Virtual team, we are virtual team. Interaction, we discuss with interactive communication, one-to-one, like interview. Manage communication. This is what we called post office of the project management. Monitor communication. I see my plan is working or not. Non-verbal communication, where that's a non-verbal communication. Like I'm using gesture, postures to interact with you. Osmotic, I already explained. Overhearing. Plan communication, where we make communication management plan. What is a communication management plan, guys? Multi-facet is you use multi-resources, Amit. What is communication management plan?
Who to share, what to share, when to share,
How
all
to
of that.
4 hour of communication. When I
4 hours.
say, guys, 4 hour of communication. Okay. Pull communication, you have to do effort. Push, you give it. Vision statement, what do I want to do? War room, that's a good thing. Like in Manali, you were explaining war room. What is
Yeah.
what is war room?
So during launch, and I'm in a pharma company that we have a launch. We use the room dedicated only for using for that team to discuss, identify, have meetings in that war room. So it's a specific location for the team to meet, discuss, and uh, anything. That's very specific.
Okay, so when we want to discuss with the people, like war room is your major meeting room where the major discussions are happening. That is your war room. Okay, that is your war room that we looked into that way. Simple. Okay, war room. Need to share the screen. Guys, I'm not reading your chat box, so anyone has any
There
question?
is no, I just wanted to add somebody asked, like, what is the full form of war? There is no full form. It's called the war
I'll
room.
tell you war. War full
Okay.
form is you punch one person, the one person punch you. So who is asking the full form of Abdullah? It's okay. Is it clear now? Okay. Yeah. Action response. Okay. We discussed work performance data. Lowest form of info. Like the information you immediately get from the team is the lowest form of information. It is called work performance data. It goes to each department convert it according to their requirement. It become work performance information, level 2 data. Then it goes to project manager. He combine it into one report, which we called work performance report. Data get converted into information, information get converted to report. Okay. Information, report, all three were in the sequence. Okay, questionnaires. When we want to collect data from large audience, we send questionnaires and surveys. Reports, we discussed it. Uh, Which one we'll do next? Fundamental we covered in the class. You want to do fundamental again? Guys, you can put in the chat box. Yes. You want to do fundamental again also? Okay. Active listening, giving your 100% attention. Brainstorming, idea generation technique. Code of ethics. PMI have code of ethics that we need to follow. Like we should not cheat, things of those nature. Collaboration, where we work with each other. Compliance. All compliance are considered as risk. All compliance are considered as risk, so must be put into that. Negative risk, more of a compromise we discussed, and both parties give up something. Conflict resolution, how you handle the conflict. Majority, more than 50% vote. Autocratic, 1% take the decision. Consensus, like conflict management and consensus are both way where we negotiate and work into that. Decision making, how you take decision. Decision tree analysis, in the risk topic we discussed. Decision tree analysis. DevOps, development and operations, it should be removed. You, when you develop the team, you understand, like you provide them that training, you measure the training outcomes. That's development. Autocratic is dictatorship. Okay. Direct and manage process work. Okay, write it down. This is a very important thing. There is only one process in which project is created, in which project is started. That is called develop project charter. There is only one process in which work is done. Only one process. Direct and manage process. Right? The PMI has like 49 processes or something like that, but we don't need to know them. Just knowing these, the third one, where changes are approved, integrated change control. Okay, these three, knowing them can be helpful. You will not get a question in the exam for sure, but just knowing them will be good. Direction of influence, upward, downward, sideward, who has the power. Emotional intelligence consists of 5 elements. We discussed what are the 5 elements. Immediately, everyone in the chat box. What are the 5 elements of emotional intelligence? What are the 5 elements of emotional intelligence? I need to know. Everybody. What are the 5 elements of emotional intelligence? I need to know. Here, everyone please type here. Self-awareness, self-management, social skills, empathy, and motivational theories. What is the motivation there? Empathy, understanding other person. Expectancy theory, if I expect, I will work accordingly. Expert judgment, going to an expert. Explicit knowledge, knowledge that can be put into numbers, 1, 2, 3. Like I can put this batch has 50 students. Now, how we learn the question answers? What were the questions you asked? What did you experience in it? That is a tacit knowledge. Right? One of my biggest problem, convince my sales team, my facilitators, and everyone whom I call is that my program is really the best program in the world. The problem is that the most of the information is tacit knowledge. Now you can say that we did flashcard. Yeah, he changed the plan, but what I am trying to do it, that's a tacit knowledge, right? Explicit is straight numbers. Am I making sense here, guys? Explicit is number. Okay, tacit is the behind things into it. Explicit and tacit. Okay. Facilitation, facilitate. Group decision technique, unanimity, majority, like unanimity, 100%, majority greater than 50. A dictatorship, autocratic, plurality when you don't have majority. Growth mindset, ground rules, basic rules and regulations that we follow. Herzberg motivational theory, hygiene and motivating agent. Two, it is also called two-factor motivational theory. Skills to talk to each other, how we manage the project. Maslow hierarchy of need. Once lower needs are satisfied, then we move to higher needs. That's Maslow hierarchy of needs. Maclean theory. What were the 3 elements of Maclean theory? What were the 3 elements? Please put in the chat box. Power, achievement, and affiliation. Motivation. How do you take decision? Negotiation. Project calendar. It can be called as resource calendar, project calendar. It has dates when the resources will be available. RACI, responsibility, accountability, consult, inform, or RAM, just the responsibility. Resource, there are 4 types of resources: power, machinery, money, material. Okay. Resource breakdown structure, how we break down the resources, manpower, machinery. It can be risk breakdown structure, Abdullah, where you classify the risk like political risk, economical, technical, legal, environmental. It can be resource breakdown, like these are manpower, machinery, material, or work breakdown structure. The purpose is dividing work into smaller, manageable part. Okay. Resource calendar we discussed. Histogram, just showing the resources. Resource management plan that talks about how we acquire the resources, develop them, allocate them, monitor them, control them. Resource optimization technique. We will discuss them in the scheduled topic. Here, basically, we optimize the resource, how effectively we can use them. RAM, responsibility assignment, reward and recognition. Reward is basically money, gift, big thing. Recognition is good job. You need to aware, you need to be aware of culture awareness when you are talking. Just to give some religious background here, like let's say if someone is Hindu and you took them to the beef restaurant, that's not a reward, that will be a bad thing. And if someone is Muslim, you are giving an alcohol as a gift, or you take them to a place where they serve pork. So there's a very important thing, understand culture and custom when you are giving rewards and recognition. Okay. And similarly, other cultures and other religions have their own way. I understand we should not talk about culture, religion, and things like that, but it need to be understood. Okay. It need to be understood when you are giving someone reward and recognition. It's an important thing. Resource calendar can include when the machines will come. Servant leadership. I I showed you a video of me and my niece, na, when she was going upstairs. If I haven't, let me see. Now this is called servant leadership mentality. The kid is going up. I'm standing there to make sure she does not fall. I'm just going behind her, making sure she is trained properly. And if she is going to fall, I need to make sure do that. Now understand this servant leadership mentality, and you will clear your team. Why I said understand this servant leadership mentality and clear the exam. Unless mentioned, every question should be dealt with a servant leadership mentality. Just to make sense, consider yourself, your team are your children. That's it. What does that mean? No matter how many times they fall down, you need to train them. I love what Jim Rohn said. I have never seen a mother who gave up on her children that, okay, my children cannot walk, leave it. No. If he fell down 100 times, he will coach, train, mentor them. That's a servant leadership mentality. Does that make sense to you? This is the mindset you have. Especially those people who are civil engineers and walking into that, you are not allowed to fire team member. Am I clear? Let's go for skill. We need to identify what skills are available. Team. I need to do team building activity. Team charting, a very important document that have vision, value of those nature. Team management plan, how you manage them. Okay, team building activities you do. Theory X, I believe in Theory X. You need to continuously monitor people. Theory Y, those people who says, okay, people can do the work. For example, Afnan, I can see he's having a Yasser, Afnan Yasser, he's having some kind of conversation or dinner behind. So his video is turned on, I can see him. And now I'm gonna ask everybody to turn the videos on, please. So that is Theory X, right? Atif, Mernali, Remzi, Hassan, Tafiq, Minhaj, Abdullah, Dinesh, Abdul Rahman. Do you want me to call everybody name? Hira, Bilal, Hussain, Sham, Jibran, Taj, Danis, Aftab, Baksa, Asad, Aisha, Osama, James, Chetan. Everybody, please turn your videos on. That's Theory X. Okay? That's Theory X. Impediment, problem, issue, all impediment. With like independent estimates, this especially is useful in procurement when we get estimates from outside the domains. Influencing, when I influence somebody, information radiator, how we manage information, leading legitimate power, someone has legal right, tacit knowledge, I already explained. Unanimity is 100% people agree. Work authorization system, how you provide the work. Persona. Anyone can explain me persona? Not IT people. Anyone else? Rashid Khalil sir. Sir, you ask a lot of questions. My turn. What is persona?
Persona is, you can say, reflection, a brighter side of.
Okay. Not at all, but okay. Where is Abdullah? Ji Abdullah. What is persona?
Uh, Sir, I'm an IT person, so you
Okay,
told
then
me not to.
then leave it. Then leave it. Tabish, I stopped you for asking the question, so I'm asking the question now. What is persona? No idea.
It's like
No.
security something.
Okay. Uday, are you with me? Uday?
Yes.
Uday?
Yes, sir, I'm with you.
What is persona?
Security like that.
No, that is not persona. I got it, Tabish, you don't know. That's okay. Uday, what is persona?
I'm not clear actually.
Ahmad, are you a IT person? Ahmad Hassan?
No, sir.
Yes,
No, sir.
sir.
I'm not an IT person.
Okay, tell me
Well,
that
sir.
persona is.
Well, I'm a little bit IT person because I'm working in a IT organization.
Can leave it. No. Okay. Let's say, guys, you need to tell anyone who Amer Ali is. You are telling him. You are not allowed to tell I'm a PMP trainer. What will you tell? Just tell me. Everyone, put in the chat box. No. Chat box, Manili. Define Amer Ali. Yes, Gibran, now you are a human being. ठीक है. Okay, he's ambitious. Okay, he's a father. He has 2 children, right? He's married. He lives in US. He wears cap maybe. He has a good collection of caps somehow. He's an Apple user. I'm just telling this. He eat a lot of blueberries, still fat, right? His handwriting is very poor. Now, what you are getting here? You are defining me the entire thing. You can also define, okay, if someone is 30 years plus and he has children, what will be their requirements? And if they want to do work from home, this is called persona. You build a user story about that people. Like for example, if someone is a new mom, they have different requirement with the someone who has a 4-year-old child, 10-year-old child, or 16-year-old child. Like probably now my daughter is 4, she want a bicycle. After 10 years, she may want a car, right? It will be a different thing. Then after 10 years, maybe I need to arrange a marriage. Things of those nature. Persona. Fictional character where you identify the human behavior, where you identify the requirements and do into that. Now, do I need something to write it down or not? Do I need something to record or not? Do I need some, if you like, let's say you're a salesperson, if you sell me a tool where my voice will improve, where my recording will improve, where my writing, will I buy it or not? Example is the board behind it. It's a $5,000 board, right? I bought it because it can, the guy who told me, he showed me that it improved the immersion of the people more than iPad. When you are standing, right? Now, this is something persona building. Got it? Everyone clear? Persona is very, you can see some question in the exam. Thank you, Taj, for saying that. Okay. Workaround. This is very easy. Workaround. You will remember it for jugaad. When you don't have a plan, what we do, we put in the issue log and we make a workaround. This is like, it's an English term of jugaad. Okay. When you don't know, immediately you do something else, workaround, right? Workflow, how the work flows. Wireframe, it's like a low level, it's a prototype. It's a prototype. Work shadowing, you shadow somebody, you look how they do and you follow them. For example, I follow my mentors. How I became the best PMP trainer. I watched every single person's video. I follow everyone. I bought everybody course who are the top on the PMP, right? I bought everybody course. This is reality. Even today, if I see someone getting good, I bought their course. I have Andy Ramdale course. I have like who are the best in the world apart from me. I have EDU HubSpot. I have Simply Learn. Name it. I have their course. I watched the entire of it. Always I learn 1 or 2 things from them. I always learn. Like for example, you know that graph I make of predictive, agile, iterative, incremental. I learned it from Scott Pine. I don't care. Steve Jobs said, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." Eh, so let's use it. So always go with that. Work shadowing, shadow somebody. By the way, I do give credit when it is due. If I use someone, like the first time I made, give Scott Pine the credit. Okay, this was team topic. Which one we should do next? Which one we should do next? Fundamental or risk? Put in the chat box. I will do open that. Fundamental, procurement, or risk? We only will do 3 more. Risk, fundamental. Risk is more. Life is risky. Effect-based classification. Now we can classify risk through so many ways, like how this risk will impact. That's effect-based classification. Enhance. This is a risk response strategy. Number two, positive risk response strategy. Like this is the reason why we should go to flashcards. Okay, Atif? Now, when you say that these terms are not right, now when you go to this flashcard, three time, three time, three time is a must. Okay, like for example, I would say exploit. The first time you'll say, once you learned it, okay, exploit is a most positive risk response strategy. Then you go to all them. Then you come for the second term. Okay, now you know what does exploit mean. Third term, now you can say that's a it's like cramming or atta. Yeah, that's it. Clear the exam. They will be later on that he make us to do cramming. Clear the exam first. Okay, whatever it is. But this is something that flashes your thing. Many people say, why cramming? How do you remember to home? How even if you are not looking, you automatically go reach your home. Yes or no? If you are going to your office to home, you reach there. Your mind knows that. That's what I want to do with flashcards. Am I making sense here? Aisha, so am I making sense here? Like repetition, repetition, repetition is the mother of success, right? My wife will tell me that go and pick that tea at that time. I will ask, is it ready? Yes, I put it on number one. Number two, she knows exactly when it's ready. People like me, I have to watch like 20 times. Is it ready? Sometime taste. How? Repetition, repetition, right? And yesterday, I will tell you what I did. In the night, my wife make that tea. I pick it. So she does not drink tea with sugar. I pick up. I'm mostly lost person. I pick up. It is written salt on it. I put it there. I then pick up. I put sugar in it and went and had a cup of tea and I throw it out. Why? The salt I pick it back. I actually pick it again and put 3 spoon of salt in it. So this happens, things happen. So that's why repetition is important. She actually put salt and sugar for me because she was sure I will get confused in the bottles. But I still did it. Yeah, it could be a good prank. I did it to myself. But then I did one thing. When I did it, I said to my wife, "Have a sip of tea." She thought tea has something problem. When she drank, she was about to. That was prank. Abdullah, that was prank. She didn't know what happened. Accept, we know that we accept the risk. This is a reactive risk response strategy. We set the risk honor. Escalate when it goes above the threshold limit. Exploit, most positive risk response strategy. Identify risk,
Sir,
put in the risk register. Yes,
sir, so accept risk. When we have to choose accept risk, sir.
when we don't want to do proactive risk response strategy, the risk is it's not extremely immediate. Okay, but the exam will not ask you when to choose it. You don't have to choose it when you cannot immediately handle that risk. The
Okay.
proactive risk responses you need to do now. Now, like I could have given this flashcard to you in the class. This is the first time I'm doing flashcard in the class. I send you guys into the breakout room and now I'm trying it. I don't know. You learn this way better or you learn that way. I don't know. I actually don't know. This old student like Minaj, Radha Krishna, Asya can tell me, okay, sir, we learn in this way better. I don't know, right? You will tell me because this is something I need to do. I need to experiment. We identify the risk. We implement the risk response strategy. What are the risk response strategies? Proactive, reactive, issue, anything for which you don't have plan. Issue log, you put in the issues log. Kill point. What was the kill point? Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember it. I didn't remember it actually. Was not doing acting. Anyone remember now what is kill point? Anyone knows? Amatsab, you don't have to do it in one day, yeah. You do it today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. And no, kill point is, I'll tell you kill point what is. Amatsab, you go through it today, it will take 30 minutes or 40 minutes. If you do it second time, it will take half of the time. Third time, it will be like turning the page. It will actually be like turning the page. That's why I'm doing it. Okay, sir?
All right, sir. All right, sir.
Kill point is that when a phase end, you go to the project manager, you go to the governance board, they review it. Shall we move forward or end the project? So, yes, sir. Sir Amit sir. When you take a business case to your governance board, they decide, shall we move ahead or kill the project? Or any time in the project, when we reach a decision, shall we go forward or end the project? That is a kill point. Okay?
Sir, it's like phase gate review.
Happens at every phase gate review, but it can be any time when the project reaches somewhere where you have a big problem there. Like, shall I move ahead or not? Okay? Mitigate, you minimize the risk. Monitor risk, you continuously need to monitor the risk. Monte Carlo analysis, a simulation technique. Perform qualitative risk analysis. You plan the risk management. All risks are in the
Risk register.
अरे अब्दुल्ला रिस्क रिपोर्ट कहाँ से आ गई यार रिस्क रिपोर्ट इज अ हाई लेवल like weekly after the weekly you get into that risk register okay there is no risk in the risk management plan risk report shows you that weekly or monthly report okay probability and impact matrix qualitative quantitative risk analysis residual risk when you see this is a residue you try to drink the entire tea still residue is left I don't want to leave in a single drop but it is left residual risk any uncertain thing risk acceptance risk strategy appetite how much risk I'm willing to take in the anticipation of reward how much risk I'm willing to take in the anticipation of reward for example my PMP training is 2 weeks then it's coaching now in the anticipation and also praying that all 50 people cleared in 1 month I changed that training from 2 weeks to till the next batch start I showed you the roadmap, na? How the roadmap is going to work. And even I'm not following the roadmap, right? I'm changing it, adopting it. When I see why did I change your roadmap? When I saw 70% of people have not done the question answers, I changed the roadmap. And let's do the question here. Adopt it, right? Now, how much risk I can handle in the anticipation of a reward that you will clear, right? Let me tell you another interesting thing. Now you will say, Amir, why you are so crazy that other people clear, like we cleared the exam, we already paid you. Let me tell you one of my beliefs. From day one, in my entire organization, we believe one thing. If I get 1 people certified, 2 will come. That's it. If I get 200 people certified by 1 month, what will happen? According to my belief, 400 students new. Simple, less strategy in the world. You don't believe? Let me tell you. How many people cleared yesterday in last 24 hours? 3 people cleared. In the last, that was 36 hours. I'm 24 hours asking. How many people have joined from last 24 hours? As of now, 5 students. I'm talking about last for batch 5. Simple strategy is that. I focus on only one thing, one parameter. How many people have cleared? Everything else take care. Now, I am giving you my biggest reason of follow-up and everything. The biggest business strategy. Satisfy the customer. Got my point? Right? Now you know why I do that. This is appetite. How much risk I am willing to take in the anticipation of reward. Now let me tell you an interesting thing. Let's say I do 100 sales call. I have to convince 100 people. Okay, it take like 2 or 3 days to call 100 people. Instead of that, I get you certified. You tell your friend how much time it will take me to convince him. 0. 0. Like I don't have to convince him. I just have to tell them, Aisha, what is there, right? And those who are actually, when someone says, "Na, sir, I'm a little bit nalaik or a low student," I love them. Because when they clear, their friends believe if he or she can clear it, I'm sure for sure I can clear it. Got my point? Everyone, you know why I do so many things? The like people or the bright people, they can clear everywhere. The Rashid of the class, the Atif of the class, the Daniels of the class, they can clear with anyone, right? But those who are the weakest student, when I will make them clear, na, then the real thing happens. That's where the magic is. Okay? No, you are very, like Aisha, I told you on that day in Ramadan, I have a deep respect for you. A working mom in Ramadan, with all the things you are doing, you are a very bright student. Okay. Interestingly, my 99% students are very bright. Otherwise, they cannot pay $899. That's another thing. They cannot pay $899. No, you are very bright, Shisha. Tabish, you are very bright. Risk appetite, risk avoidance. We avoid the risk. Kill the risk. Make the probability or impact zero. Risk breakdown structure. Hierarchical breakdown of risk. Like technical risk, political risk. Those breakdown structure. Risk categorization, same as risk breakdownization. Enhancement. And they are repetition. Exposure. Exposure is like, no, exposure is in the risk report. Abdullah, risk exposure is in the risk report, overall risk of the project. Mad, you are very like, okay, studying after 13 years. Tasin, I have a student. He joined today. He has a 32 years of experience. Okay. And the last thing he studied was graduation. So don't tell me that you studied after 13 years. I don't think so. You have a 32 years of age, right? So don't say that. You are like among the youngest here. So don't say that. You see that? But Aisha just put it there, right? So don't go with that thing. Okay. Risk impact, probability impact, risk management plan, how the risk process will happen. Risk management plan has no risk in it. It guides about the process. And if you want to do audit, we will follow that. Risk mitigation, honor the person who will handle the probability and impact. Risk register, which will has all the risk in the project, which will have all the risk in the project. Yes, Anita?
Sir, all the management plans is planned only for the particular project or it is planned for the organization based?
You are the project manager of this project. So only this project.
Okay.
Risk response plan, how you are going to handle the risk sharing, positive risk response, threshold, like limit, the biggest thing. If a risk goes above, you escalate it. Transfer a risk response strategy, risk workshop you use to collect the risk. Secondary risk, you implement the primary risk, and another risk has identified secondary risk. Sensitivity analysis, also known as tornado analysis, where one impact, you see how it will impact. Share positive risk, simulation, Monte Carlo, threat, a negative risk. Tolerance, like threshold is a number, tolerance is a range. Tornado analysis, sensitivity diagram. Transfer, where you transfer the risk to the people. Trigger condition, like a trigger happen, then the risk owner implement the risk response. SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Opportunity, a positive risk. Opportunity cost. If you take one opportunity, like there are two opportunity, A, B, and I go for one, the cost of other opportunity is considered as opportunity cost or miss opportunity. You can consider it as a missed opportunity. Okay. Threshold, limit. Okay. Which you want to do next? Fundamental or procurement? Which do you want to do? Quickly, guys. Procurement? Okay. By the way, you should have procurement should have been the first or last because you just did that topic. Bidder conference where we get together to identify the things. Conduct procurement. Somebody asked about the conduct procurement. Conduct procurement is where you sign the contract to the things. Yes, Surya.
What is the main difference between the risk appetite and the risk threshold?
Appetite is basically how much risk I am willing to take. Listen to that, Surya. So it's a very
Mhm,
important. How much
mhm.
risk I am willing to take in the anticipation of it. You are a mother. How much risk you are willing to take? How much money you are willing to invest in a certain college, in a certain university, with the anticipation that your children can get better. That are risk
Okay,
appetite. Okay.
okay.
For example, being from Southeast Asia, like this is our dream. Our kids go to Harvard or things like that, right? So, how many expensive schools? Which schools I can send, right?
Mm,
So, for example,
mm,
I'm sending my children to private school here in US. Why I'm investing it? So that they can learn and then one day go to big universities. They are on the path to that. How much risk I am willing to take? Risk appetite. That is a threshold is the maximum number. When a risk exceed to that, you escalate to the response. Okay.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you.
Conduct procurement where you sign the agreement. Contract agreement. Control procurement where the delivery actually start happening, where you start checking the delivery. Control procurement is control procurement process or control procurement process repetition. Cost plus award fee, where you give them like tip or thing like that in addition to the agreed price. Cost plus fixed fee, where you only provide for the services they have done. Incentive fee, where you give them incentive if they can complete early. Cost reimbursement contract, where your scope is not fixed and you reimburse the cost they had given. Firm fixed price, where scope is 100% fixed. Fixed price control contract. Incentive, where your scope is fixed, but in addition to that, you provide them the incentive to do things. Economic price adjustment, where you provide them money and it is changed according to the inflation and things of those nature. Invitation for bid, where they can invite that. Make or buy analysis, shall we do it or go outside? Decision. Procurement is a buying audit. Procurement audit should follow the procurement management plan, where we see are we following the right process or not. Procurement audit. Procurement documents that you have, plan how the procurement process will happen. Procurement statement of work that guides, like before signing the contract, procurement statement of work is our Bible. Everything should be there. Where we get the information, proposal, detailed information, quotation, only price, RFI, RFQ, RFP, we discussed it. Service level agreement, where we get a agreement that they will provide the service of that level after that. Source selection criteria, who will provide those things. Time and material contract, invitation for bid. Okay, source selection criteria, why it's coming. Statement of work or procurement statement of work, time and material contract. Vendor bid, where we analysis their bid. Outsourcing is procurement is outsourcing. We get a list of vendors from our organization or we make it. Waiver is a term in the contract. I know somebody violated that contract. I still waive it. Let it go. I don't care. I don't have a time or whatever the reason, right? I waive it go. No, we discussed it. Time and material is the most risky contract. Okay, this is your procurement. One is left. Fundamental. Yes, Dennis.
Just from my understanding, until all the chapters except of procurement, when you look on the percentage in the exam, you said like what we have had until now, except of
And
procurement, would be 80
agile,
to 85.
agile stakeholder communication team, risk. These were the topics we covered in first 3 days. Master them, go and clear the exam. That's what I said.
Okay, it's like this. Okay,
But don't
thank
do.
you.
But again, don't do that. Difference between cost and material and cost. Which one? Time and material have most risk on that. We explained it. Time and material is like Uber. You can, it can go more and more cost into that. So time and material is the most risky for the seller. We are looking from the seller or from the buyer. Sorry, for the buyer, from the buyer point of view. Okay. Assumption log, where we put all the assumption. Benefit management plan, which has benefits of the project. Business case, your benefit to cost part. Constraint, anything that limits you. Controlling PMO, that provides you everything but also does audit. Cost benefit analysis. Directive PMO, giving you day-to-day directions. EF, enterprise environmental factor, political, economical, social, technical, legal, environmental. Focus group, where subject matter experts are there. Functional manager in an operational organization is like he's managing the day-to-day things. By the way, I made one picture. It was a little bit not right for the same thing. Yesterday I was trying to write out the book, entire book. Yeah. So this for a functional topic. Where is my? This is, are you saying that projectized operation? With mistakes are there, so I'm making it a better. Projectized operational, you will get. There are some mistakes there, like this is not clear who has 100% control there. Like a project expeditor has 100% control. So few mistakes are there, but it's a good document. I'm working into it. Trying to, you see my pictures, no? That I put pictures there, the summary of topics. Like if you see, I make it from AI. Like for example, I put this requirement management plan. You see, it takes this much time for one. Do I look like that? He's making me funny. Okay, functional manager, functional organizational or operational organization, information management system, how you manage the information, initiation, where three things happen in initiation. Put in the chat box, please. Project charter, assumption log, you identify the stakeholder register. Internal rate of, this is like a business term like benefit to cost. More IRR or more payback period you have, the better your projects will be. Okay. Monitor and control, where we monitor it. Manage project knowledge, where we manage that. Sportive PMO provides you everything. Again, where you see the more NPV is for the project, the good it is, just like ROI. What is the culture of the organization? Organizational process asset, policies, procedures, tools, and template. We discuss many theories. Payback period, when you can get your money back. Planning process group, where we make all the plans. Portfolio, combination of projects, program, and operation. Management of portfolios, program, collection of projects. Project, a temporary endeavor. You do something that has an end date. Project coordinator, project charter. I missed this one. The most important thing, a document that starts the project. Coordinator has less power than project manager. Documents, the 33 documents that these are the 33 documents. We have discussed with them. We have discussed assumption log, change log. We discussed issue log, lesson learned, milestone, project calendar, communication, uh, project team assignment. We discussed resource calendar, risk register, resource requirement, risk report, team charter, stakeholder register. These we have discussed. Remaining we will discuss it. Project expeditor, kind of have whatever. Governance, how you govern the project. Life cycle, which life cycle are you in? How you manage the project. PMIS, the entire information system of the project. Project management office, plan. All the plans are the part of project management plan. Initiation, planning. Guys, put in the chat box. What happens in initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. Put in the chat box. What happens in all of them? Initiation, we start the work. Planning, we plan the work. We do the work. We compare the work. We close the project. Project manager is someone who does the work. You meet project plan, project management plan, sponsor, your boss, organization that does the project. Okay. ROI, the money you get back, triple constraint, scope, schedule, cost, matrix mostly organizations are matrix organization. Life cycle, template that you get in the project, waterfall, predictive project, and that's complete the topics that we have done. It took us किधर गया है? Who said how we can complete all of them? I completed Sohil Saab. I completed these flashcards. I set the timer for 1 hour. Okay, so I set it like 10 minutes later, so you can say like 70 to 75 minutes we completed most of the flashcard. And I like 10 to 15 minutes I just wasted. I was telling my stories and things of those nature. So in 1 hour you can the remaining topics you can complete it. Let's say for the first time when you go to the flashcard, it take 4 hours. The next time it will take 3. The third time it will take 2. The next time it will take 1, and then 30 minutes. Tick, 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 tick. That's it. And forever you remember those terms, right? For example, it takes, of course, now I forget what kill point. I was looking at kill point after a long time. That's normal. It's okay. Okay, that's okay. Now, what was the purpose of revising all this thing? Now we are gonna solve question answers. Yasir, I hope you are done with the lunch. We were looking at you were having food or something. Your video was on. Yes, we were even saying, Yasir, you are having lunch alone. You did not invite any of us. But yeah, okay. So let's have a 15 minutes break.
I make my background blur still.
Yes, yes. I have good eyes. Okay, so guys, let's have a 15-minute break. This is your food break, whatever you want. After that, we will solve question.
Maybe make it 20 minutes because we have to pray, Isha prayer.
Okay, let's put in the voting. Guys, you want 15 or 20?
30.
वो तो मिलनी नहीं है करने वाली बात करो 15 ये तफसील तो है Okay, let it be 20 minutes. Let's go for 20 minutes.